phone and
So I'm Dan.
tell us what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm Dan Waushara. This is my wife, Dixie. So you guys were out to see the lot, obviously. So it's just a 50-foot wide lot, so you're a little bit limited with what you can do there. We just want to build something small, something to kind of grow old in, I guess, and kind of semi-retire in, I guess, down the road. The kids are all in college now, and we're kind of empty nesters. We wanted to move back closer to where my parents live. They live over on Long Lake, not too far away. So basically, you know, we think that the house fits the lot really well. I have worked with zoning with both Kyle and Rick were out there. And you know, they really had all pretty good things to say with what we want to do there. It's just that it's tough to build anything narrower than 24 feet wide. So we want to keep it simple, just like a 1-bedroom, full basement, and then just a 1-car garage. We're well under the impervious surface and any other setbacks. We easily meet the lake setback. In fact, we'll probably be further back than what Kyle had measured, just because there's a really nice oak tree right there that we want to save. So, and that was right where our setback was. So we'll probably be even a couple feet further back from there. A little bit about ourselves, I guess. We both are graduates of Wild Rose. My wife still teaches at Wild Rose elementary school since 1992, and we've been living in Waushara as our kids went through the school system and everything. And so we're up there now. So we just plan on moving back to this property once it's completed. The only real changes that was on here was we had to get the state of Wisconsin came out to look at the soils out there, and Rick was out there along with Harry Handel and Tyler Galke, because we were accepted for a 2-bedroom mound system, which we can fit on there versus a holding tank. So that was the only question. It was kind of a weird situation where they had existing septic systems there with, you guys probably know, with easements that go onto the 2 neighbors' lots, which, you know, that just doesn't make a lot of sense. So, but the problem is when they went to perk test our lot, they found that it must have been filled in probably 40, 50 years ago or then some. So the best thing for them to do was to have the state guy come out and look at it and just make sure that it either could be in-ground holding tank or mound. So he said, yeah, this should be fine for a mound. So we're going to actually put a 2-bedroom mound system, and there's plenty of space for it versus a 1-bedroom.
Okay.
I did contact Everett Eckstein, and I had a long talk with him. He had nothing but good things to say about it. I did leave messages for the Lake Association, Gene. But I haven't been able to get in touch with her. However, our neighbor to the west of us, John, was it Swella? I guess he's part of the association. So I did reach out to all the neighbors too, and I went basically 2 neighbors each way, and there's nothing behind us, and obviously the lake is the other direction, and they all had good things to say, and we hope that we'll all really get along there. And it's going to be kind of interesting because there's 3 vacant lots there, and then all of a sudden now within the next year or 2 there might be 3 new houses there.
Okay.
So yeah, if you have any questions for us.
All right, I got some questions for you.
Okay.
Answer them as best as you can.
Okay.
Has there been a recent survey?
Yep. That should be within the.
It's in our packet, I
Yep.
think.
Yep. Mark Karlowski from Waushara Land.
So we know where the lot lines are, correct?
Yep.
Have you talked to the neighbors? And you have, right?
Yes.
What kind of foundation are we going to put this on?
Board wall.
Board walls? How far above the existing grade will the first floor elevation be, and how much filling and grading will be done?
Well, at the very top of the hill there, that will be
The top of the hill at the lake or the back?
the top of the hill at the lake.
Okay.
So yep, right, you kind of see where the stakes were for the house.
Yep.
So that grade, the top of the wall would probably be about just a few inches above that point right there. So when you get back down to the garage elevation, then that drops down probably about 4 to 6 feet or so. So the garage is going to be dropped down just a little bit. you know, and then the driveway will just kind of come down and come back up, similar to what the neighbor has.
Okay.
So
What's the finished height of the building going to be?
overall, well, it's 24 wide on a 612 pitch. So that'll be 8 feet. Dave, you're,
Less than
About 16
35?
feet, you'll be-
yeah,
Less than 35?
Yeah.
I got it. Can't do the math that
Be
fast
well
in my
less than
head.
That's all I got to know, if it's less than 35.
Okay.
How will you deal with the erosion and stormwater runoff?
Well, basically, we're way under impervious surface. So I think all the way around, all sides are going to have plenty of, we don't want to disturb anything either. We want to leave everything natural the way it is. So once it gets back, so I think there's plenty of space. Obviously, there'll be gutters on the house, and we'll try to run them into obviously places where there's plenty of impervious, you know, surface to handle the water runoff.
Any other improvements? We know you're going to build a house, a garage, and a patio. Anything else? Steps to the lake, anything?
No, because it's so gradual right now. You know, if I have to do a railing or something, but it's just, you know, it's real gradual. Then there's a flat spot, and then it's gradual again. It's, yeah. I mean, we really kind of the lot's really a beautiful lot. You know, so I don't know that we even need that.
So all the other setbacks will be met?
Yep,
Septic system's going to be a mound now?
that'll be a mound. Yep.
Do we have any non-conforming structures on the property?
No,
Everything's gone?
everything's gone. Yep. From what we understood, the bank foreclosed on those properties and tore the existing structures down and left all of everything else in place. And some guy from the lake bought it from the bank and as an investment. And
The lot line goes through that little walkway down to that neighbor's shack on the lake. Is that going to be a problem?
well, yeah, I think what he's going to do, I'm not sure exactly what their plans are. He wants to build a house there. I've been in quite a bit in contact with him. I know they're working with zoning. Their thought was to take it down to the boathouse level and hopefully maybe leave it at the boathouse, but I don't know what they're going to be permitted to do.
I'm just worried about your side of the lot.
Well, it's not on our property.
Okay.
It's on theirs.
All right.
So yeah,
The concrete's on his then, most of it, for his steps that go down there?
well,
It looked like a little bit of it was
a little
on yours.
bit's on ours. Yep. I think by the time you get to the concrete portion, it's probably on his. I mean, obviously he's going to have to access that from a different location. That's not going to work. So
Have we considered any options on that property? Smaller house, bigger house, or anything? Just, you're happy with what you got?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's all we need. So.
Okay, now you have to tell me what the hardships and unique property limitations, and you kind of explain that it's a narrow old lot.
Yep, basically just a skinny lot, very difficult to build on. I think I've got it written out there. There are several other 50-foot lots on Pine Lake. In fact, if you go to the west of us, I think 7 out of the 10 are all 50-footers. So, you know, it's not a self-imposed hardship. It's just a skinny lot. It's difficult to, you know, even just to do the landscaping or the excavating on is going to be a challenge, but we'll be able to handle that. Same thing with the unique property limitation. It's difficult and burdensome to meet that 15-foot side yard setback. So we're hoping that 12'4", it's probably going to be 12'6", but that would be to the foundation.
Okay.
So,
You have a builder, and do you or he know what permits you're gonna need?
yep.
Okay. I have a question going to the septic system. In our packet here from 2007, I was going over this. And on this page here, it's a document from 2007, and it says the old systems to be abandoned, and it's got this map of these old systems on a lot. Are those systems,
They're abandoned.
they're gone?
Yep. What we did is we had deeds drafted that basically we
Okay,
deeded back.
that's my question, because
Okay.
on another document I have here, it's from you to Cynthia, and it says, you're gonna get variances or paperwork that they agree to abandon
Yep.
those, the old septic systems that come onto your lot line.
Right.
Have you got those, have you
I
got
haven't-
that legal paperwork yet?
I haven't gotten it back yet. But the deed should be recorded by now. They were
Okay.
sent down and recorded and signed. So I'm actually surprised that we haven't got that back in the mail yet.
I just wondered why, if it was supposed to be legally abandoned in 2007, it's still a problem today that you have to get a document for that. You know, it's just something a question that came to me.
Yeah, because the zone, that easement that exists technically is by legally, it's an easement for zoning to go and inspect those systems. So even if we wanted to use them, that could be he could sue me and we may lose that case if either one of us wanted to use the systems. I basically decided, we got together, we said, look, let's just do our own thing. I'd rather be friends with my neighbor than have you mad because we want to enforce this easement, or you want to enforce this easement. Let's just do our own thing. And he's very happy with that. And even if we had to do a holding tank,
Yeah.
we were okay with that.
If an approval is granted, when would you start building?
Hopefully right away. Hopefully I've got in touch with Paul's Concrete and hopefully they can get the basement in. Stan right up the road, he's going to frame it up for me, and I got my master electrician license yet, and I've got the plumbers lined up and the heating guys all lined up. So I'd like to at least get some of it going, because
Are you acting as your own contractor
I am,
on this?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I've done a lot of building over the years. So.
I don't have anything further. Gentlemen?
No, I have nothing.
Nothing.
Good.
Okay. Can I have a seat? And
Yep.
we're going to do some more stuff here. Correspondence.
The county has not received any correspondence to date on the request.
Anyone vote in
We-
favor?
We have no registrants to speak in favor, against, or just even for informational.
Then we're going to go right to staff comments.
Okay, for the benefit of those in attendance, I'd just like to provide a brief summary of staff's report. Summary of the request: the applicants Dan and Dixie Walksmooth are requesting a variance to construct a 24 by 38 single-family dwelling coming to within 12 foot 4 inches of both the side lot lines, when 15 foot is typically required in an RS 20 single-family residential zone within the shoreland area of the town of Springwater. The county maintains very little information on the property, as the original cabins have since been raised, and most everything else predates county zoning. We do have a permit for one of the sanitary systems, which dates back to 2007, but that is going to be vacated. Subject parcel of land, which is known as Lot 3 of the Pine Lakes Assessor's Plat, dates back to 1950. It maintains a lot width of only 50 feet, as through the testimony, many of the lots within that subdivision did. Staff conducted an on-site on October 15th of 2020 to determine the setbacks and the buildability of the lot. Based upon existing conditions and structures within the area, staff did determine that there was an average building setback of 72 feet, which was noted on the drawings, and that based upon the required side yard setbacks, a buildable area of only about 20 feet in width was remaining. The applicants have since developed and submitted plans for a very modest 1-bedroom, 1-bath home. The board visited the property at the recent onsite on Monday, December 14th, 2020, and were generally very supportive of the variance request. They believe the applicants have designed a house that not only fits the constraints of the lot, but is consistent with similar requests on fairly similar lots of late. With regard to the hardship and justification, staff believes the applicants have provided ample justification. Number one, without relaxation or a minimal relaxation of the code, the lot would be very difficult to build upon. Number two, there are unique limitations, such as the very narrowness of the lot. And number three, the variance, if granted, should not cause any undue hardship to neighboring properties, as this is fairly typical and is still providing a somewhat sizable side yard. Staff has reviewed this request and believes the applicants are going to great lengths to design a home, that not only fits the lot, but are attempting to be sensitive to adjoining property owners by centrally locating the home upon the lot. The only concern staff has is over the true buildability of the lot, given the limits of the mapped floodplain. Prior to any construction, the applicants will need approvals from either FEMA and/or the county. While the board will be making a formal recommendation on this request later in the evening, staff is recommending approval of the variance to construct a 24 by 38 single-family dwelling coming to within 12 feet 4 inches of both side lot lines, subject to the conditions listed within your report.
Thank you. Any rebuttal? Are you good? Good. Okay, anything else from the committee? Okay, we're gonna go right into our board meeting. Call the board meeting to order. Roll call. Show the people that are here. I will accept the motion to approve the agenda as I think we have to make a, not yet. I need a motion to approve the agenda first.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Okay, on the minutes, there's going to have to be a correction, so I'll need a motion to approve the minutes as amended. It shows Larry.
No, John Bench.
John Benz. It's going to show John Benz as absent. And then we made the correction with Larry.
Oh, okay. All right. So a motion to approve the minutes, and
I'll make the motion to approve.
John makes a motion. Second, please.
I'll second.
George seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. New business. Take action on the public hearing that we just heard. Any thoughts, comments, or motions?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the variance of Dan and Dixie Walksmouth. Am I correct? Okay.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a second. And the reasons would be?
And I'm going to pull this down so I can
Okay.
talk. An unnecessary hardship is present, and the current code requirements would be unnecessarily burdensome and prevent the applicant from using the property for permitted use because very few alternatives exist. The impact of construction are being minimized by overall small lot size of the dwelling. A minimal relaxation of the code is being granted. A permitted use is not likely on this property without variance approval. The circumstances are beyond the control of the applicant and are unique to the property and not the applicant. The lot predates zoning regulations. The construction matches the lot and available area. Hardship or unreasonably burdensome limitations of setbacks is due to unique physical features or limitations of the property because very little or no buildable area exists. The lot is very narrow and the overall lot size is small. The variance will not harm the public interest or neighboring land uses and damage the intent of the zoning code because visibility is good at the driveway location. Traffic is light. The septic will be upgraded, as we understand tonight. Traffic is slowed here. A turnaround is proposed, and the turnaround just means that you have area to back your car out of the garage, turn around, and then drive out your driveway forward. This would make a bad situation better. Good vegetation exists already or is proposed. The proposed use will not harm the public, zoning code, or neighboring land uses if conditions are followed. A literal enforcement of the zoning code would be unnecessarily burdensome, and the testimony in opposition, which there wasn't any, so we'll scratch number 10. Cindy. Therefore, the requested variance conditions shall apply. The development must be in substantial compliance with the site plan and testimony provided at the public hearing. The first floor elevation and filling and grading shall be done in accordance with the site plan and additional information provided at the public hearing. Prior to the issuance of the building permit and land use permit, the applicant will be required to either obtain a LOMA from FEMA or submit a certified elevation to the county zoning office verifying that the lowest habitable elevation is a minimum of 2 feet above the base floodwater elevation. All other permit setbacks are required, all other required setbacks must be complied with. All permits must be obtained, including land use, building, and sanitary. All code requirements must be complied with. It is the responsibility of the builder and landowner to protect the neighboring lots, lake, and road during construction. Standard erosion control plans must be in place prior to construction. Any future construction cannot occur without first obtaining an additional variance. The board agrees with the concerns of the DNR, but on-site observations,
We didn't have any.
we did not. You're correct. I'm sorry. Scratch number 10, Cindy. The driveway shall meet all code specifications and provide suitable turnaround to prevent backing onto the road, which we've already discussed. A uniform property address will need to be assigned once the permanent driveway location is established. The applicant will allow agents of Waushara County access to the property. To ensure compliance with the terms of this decision, Waushara County codes and state and federal laws, the landowner is responsible to maintain good visibility at the driveway entrance, which there already is. The driveway must meet spacing and construction standards of the county and any local or state requirements. The landowner is responsible for determining lot lines and required setbacks, which have already been established. And I think
Well,
the building
He-
shall not exceed a maximum of 35 feet, which has already been established.
do we need to add the part that he's waiting for the legal documents on the septic system underneath?
If the
Can't go
deed,
underneath.
if the deed has been recorded,
But with regard to, the existing system and the abandonment, and that's more of a civil matter. It's just at the time of sanitary permit, he'll have to comply with all current codes. Amy, am I correct on that?
okay.
Okay. So we don't need to put that in there for what he's waiting
That's more of
for.
a civil matter.
Okay, great.
I have no more. That's enough.
Should have bought a bottle of water tonight. We have a motion, we have a second. We'll take a roll call vote. Larry?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Kevin's a yes too. 5-0. Happy building. Okay, we'll continue our business meeting. Any extensions of variance applications?
No, I have nothing more.
Minor changes?
Nope.
Maps? Any public hearings for next month?
I have a side lot setback on Silver Lake.
So we will have a variance
Correct. In
for
January.
January.
Yep.
Put on your calendar, boys and ladies. Zoning administrator, anything?
I have nothing more other than to wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, you too. We want to go over the checklist here, what we just did.
Ready? All right, so that's A 1 through 7, B 1 through 3, C 1 through 9 with the omission of number 10, D 1 through 17 omitting also number 10 on that one. And I have all yeses from Kevin, Larry, George, and Dave.
Okay. Motion to accept that as read back to us.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Motion to adjourn. Larry makes a motion second.
Second.
George seconds. All in favor? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, you too.
Hey,
Let's keep it a little
thorough,
shorter if we're gonna let you guys go first.
Thorough. And thorough.
Otherwise you will go last.
Next month, we only got one again. How you been?
Good.
Have a good Christmas.
You never got out there to do any hunting.
Kevin, do you want me to take this?
I'm done with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm doing fine. Went to the doctor and he says I'll live till I die, so.
Ways will be that sucks.
It does. It does, but- Oh, well, life is good.
Yep. Excuse me.
Get through there.
Good, how are you?
Jerry, is your mic on? Touch it, like.
You want to sit?
What number is
There you
your
go.
mic?
There's your stuff.
What number are you?
Green, but
Yeah?
yeah.
Just to let you know too, the staff report for Elmer, for some reason, we couldn't get the watermark on there, so it does stay wrapped across the cover of it. But that is the final version, so for some reason, that was the only one we just couldn't get that darn thing off there.
Okay. No problem. And Mike came and he says, "If you got enough," and I said, "I think so." He's sicker than a dog. Yeah, he came in, he says, "If you don't mind, I'd really like to go back home."
Okay.
I said, "Yeah, it's too soon to Christmas to get real buggered up, so go ahead."
I don't think we see anything that controversial.
Yeah, no. All right, are you ready, Cindy?
I just gotta redo our live.
You're good? I might.
All right, you're good, I guess.
All right, we'll wait for Todd to get up here. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sorry about that.
I will call this meeting of the Waushara County Planning and Zoning Committee to order. This meeting will be conducted in the same manner as the applications heard by the Board of Adjustments. Please remember to keep your comments brief, no more than 5 minutes, and relative to the matter at hand. Anyone other than the applicant or the representative wishing to speak at this hearing must have registered. Anyone who has not should do so immediately and submit the registration slip to the zoning administrator immediately to my right. The committee has looked at the properties and will record, and the record will reflect these observations. Following the public hearing, the committee will conduct their monthly business meeting, at which time we will vote on the applications. You may stay and hear how the applications are decided, or you may leave following the public hearing. Any person affected by an administrative decision of this committee has 10 days from the filing of tonight's decision to file an appeal. Such appeals are heard by the Waushara County Board of Adjustment. Information and applications are available from the county zoning office. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as to the legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration of this 10-day period. I will now introduce the committee. To my immediate left is Carl Grisar. In the back corner, Patrick King. Immediately behind me, Jerry Lauer. My name is Robert Wadle. Todd Waller, our zoning administrator. Cindy Rettler is the acting secretary. And Amy is doing computer work. Communications. All right, the first one we will do is a conditional use tabled from the October 15th, 2020 public hearing. Sunny Boy Animal Sanctuary, Ryan and Nicole Helmer, landowners, have made an application for conditional use in accordance with sections 58-236, paragraph 19, and 58-454, paragraph 2 and 11 of the Waushara County zoning code to amend a previously approved conditional use to establish an animal sanctuary, rescue, and kennel for applicants' personal dogs utilizing a new 34 by 120-foot barn. The existing 40 by 60 barn will be used for personal storage in the AG General Ag Zone. Location: an approximate 6-acre parcel of land being part of the west half of the northwest quarter, section 23, town 18 north, range 8 east, town of Coloma. Address N1204 County Road H. Is the applicant a representative here?
Yes, that's me, Mark Schmidt. I'm the architect, but I believe I'm also the applicant for this application,
All right.
representing Ryan and Nicole Helmer.
Okay, you want to tell us what's going on since we were out there last?
Yeah, I think, this is a project that you're probably all aware of for some time. This is a renewal of the existing conditional use with a new building to replace the old one. Since the last time, the existing house that was there has been demolished and the site cleaned up somewhat. And I know there's some things, I just went out to look at it today, and I think the zoning staff have seen it. So there may be some other site cleanup issues needed. But as far as I know, the location of the new building is approved. The state of Wisconsin has approved the building plans. And to my understanding, the business plan has been negotiated and worked out between the zoning staff and the applicant, owner of the project. So other than that, I don't think there's any real changes in any of the description of the project since the last time that it was prepared.
Okay, there's a few questions for you, Mark. Obviously, you know where the property lines are, I hope.
Where the property lines are, yeah.
Okay. Have they talked to the neighbors concerning this improvement or new building or addition?
I haven't talked to them myself, no.
Have the applicants themselves?
I'm sure the applicants have been in touch with the neighbors.
Okay,
I'm not aware of what any issues they may have talked about.
okay, last time we were out there, it was, like you said, messy. The house has been removed.
Pardon me?
The house has been removed, you said?
Oh, yeah,
The
yep.
old house?
The house has been removed. the
And
old one,
cleanup is.
And the
in-
new one is occupied.
Cleanup is in process of the vehicles and the other stuff that was scattered around
It
there?
looks like there's still some things parked between the existing building and the road, but I'm sure that those things are part of the requirements to get straightened and cleaned up over time, and some progress has been made. That seems clear.
Okay, and when do you anticipate starting this new building project?
I anticipate that's probably this summer,
Summer?
late spring.
Does the committee have any questions? Okay, guess that's all we have at this time. Staff comments? You can
Well-
take a seat if you'd like, unless.
And Ed, before we go there, I just wanted to let you know, we don't have any
Okay,
correspondence.
correspondence. I
You
got
know,
ahead of myself.
That's okay. And we haven't received, no registrants to speak in favor, against, or informational.
Okay.
With regard to staff's report, for the benefit once again of those in attendance, give just a brief little summary.
You can sit down if you'd like, Mark, for now.
The applicants appeared before the Planning and Zoning Committee on October 15th, 2020 with this request. However, said request was continued due to a number of concerns that were raised by both the county zoning and the county health department. Of specific concern with the number of employees or volunteers that were indicated within within Nicole's business operations manual, the number of fundraising events that were to occur on an annual basis, the anticipated number of mini pigs that were to be on site were still in question, and the lack of specifics with regard to the removal of animal waste. County staff has since met with Ms. Helmer and believes that either through recent revisions made to the proposed business model and or through conditions that are placed within the notice of decisions, that all of these previous concerns have been or can be addressed. What I'd like to do, just give you a real brief summary, just in terms of the agreements that we came to. With regard to the number of employees, even though her business model talks about 8 total employees, it's envisioned that there would never be more than 1 individual there per day. According to Nicole, probably 1 per week, with a very occasional possible 3 to 5 employees just for a work event, that they have these, kind of work event parties that would be very occasional or sporadic. And we felt that that was very acceptable. With regard to the number of fundraising events, she has identified that there would be no more than 5 volunteer outreach events. And she has agreed that she will amply notify within 2 weeks prior to any event, county zoning, health department, and sheriff's office. With regard to the number of pigs, the number of pigs envisioned, even with the new facility, is very consistent with what it was before. It would be a maximum of 40 to 50 mini pigs. I did ask her about the number of animals per stall. She said that was very hard to dictate because apparently, and I don't know if it's a brood or a herd, but it's really dependent upon the herd of the pigs, the hierarchy and stuff like that. But she said that they will be kept, and that's more of a business matter, I think, that she'll have to just maintain. And then with regard to the removal of animal waste, she's agreed to work with the land conservation boys, with regard to proper disposal of any animal waste. By standard state statute, she isn't required, because of the size and the care of the animals, types of animals, not required to do a manure storage pit or manure storage facility. So, she's agreed though to work with them just on concepts and ideas, to adequately remove and dispose of. Staff has reviewed this request and continues to believe that animal hospitals, rescue facilities, and/or sanctuaries typically provide compassionate and caring halfway homes for animals that, if left otherwise unsheltered, could possibly perish. We believe the applicants have shown and demonstrated that they are caring and compassionate people. And while the committee will be making a recommendation on this request later in the evening, staff is recommending approval of the amendment to a previously approved conditional use to establish an animal sanctuary, rescue, and kennel for applicants' personal dogs, utilizing a new 34 by 120 foot barn. The existing barn will be renovated and turned back into personal storage for that property located in the general agricultural zone in the town of Coloma. Just two items with regard to the conditions, and I just want the applicant to be aware of, and I did talk to Nicole earlier this evening. And that has to do with the condition of the property. We, not only have I received concern from the adjoining residents, I've also received concern from the town. We will be stressing the importance of keeping the property neat, orderly, and in a professional appearance at all times. And then secondly, has to do with the application of building permits. Because of the fact that they are locating or operating out of an existing non-compliant structure, we are seeking that the building permits, commercial building permits, be obtained within 6 months, the date of the approval of the notice of decision, and that date of occupancy is obtained within 1 year. So, and I think that that's something that is agreeable to both parties, but I just wanted to stress that here tonight.
Sure.
And that's all we have.
Do you have any further comments, Mark? Okay. Next one we will review is Craig and Blessing Skogstad, Wild Rose, Wisconsin. They made an application for conditional use in accordance with sections 58-236, paragraph 21, and 58-454, paragraph 30 of the Waushara County zoning code to conditionally establish a home-based business for an auto repair shop with an existing 33 by 56 foot accessory structure in the AG5 General Ag Zone. Location, an approximate 5-acre parcel of land being part of the north half of the northeast quarter, lot 1 of certified survey map 5,000, less the south 499.88 feet, I'm guessing?
I'm sorry.
499 feet? Yeah. Okay. Section 26, Town 19 North, Range 11 East, Town of Mount Morris. Address, W5401 Brown Deer Avenue. And you're here?
Yes,
Would you like to tell the committee kind of what's going on there?
sure. I'm trying to establish and currently running a
Speak
small-
into the microphone.
I'm trying to establish and currently running a small auto repair shop out of there. I also do lawnmowers, tractors, four-wheelers, kind of a general repair, boats and such. Very big help to the community, it seems, so far. I've got very positive response. Also, I do a lot of work for vacation people that are coming in and spending money from out of the area, helping our economy grow here, which is a wonderful thing. Just trying to keep it small. I don't want to go too big or anything with it, but I'd like to eventually be able to have an employee or two on and just kind of help out around here and be a contributing part of the community.
Okay. We got a few questions, pretty simple, but we usually ask them. Are you sure of the property lines, the boundaries?
Yes, I am sure of the property boundary lines. They were actually, the neighbor actually had them surveyed just prior to us purchasing the
That was
property.
my
and
next
has a
question.
fence
Has there
up
been
there.
a survey, recent survey done?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you talked to the neighbors about this? And,
I have talked to all my neighbors about it. I've had one that I've tried to talk with more about it, but I have not got any further response from them.
have you talked to the town board?
I have been in contact with Dan Nowak with the town board, and from my understanding, it will be going on the docket for the town board. It is not currently up there, but
Okay.
he does not oppose it being there. He just doesn't want a salvage yard out there.
Sure. Okay, does the committee have any questions at this time?
hear me?
I can, but I
I
don't.
can
think
hear
it
you,
is.
yeah.
I noticed when we were there, in the wood area where you had the, truck, pickup truck bed, I believe. You
Yep.
put some things in it. There was a
A
Barrel.
big drum or a barrel.
drummer barrel tipped over with the holes attached.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, is that
There's
empty?
nothing on that. It used to contain oil and it's all been extracted from it and it's sitting there going to be recycled on the next trip to the salvage yard.
Okay. And you did indicate that the tires will be picked up on a regular basis, that you won't have a mountain of
Yes,
tires
sir.
there?
I am contracted with Liberty Tire Recycling and they will be coming for them. They require a minimum of 50, but 200 is a preferred number for them to come and pick them up.
And then any antifreeze will be recovered through a system you have?
Yep, I have a coolant recovery machine, also does flushes and everything, and it recovers and also fills the systems to
Then
avoid any
I
seepage or
believe you said
spillage.
the waste oil was going to,
Waste oil is going to Tom's Garage in Wild Rose to be burned in his oil burner to heat his shop.
okay. Any other questions from the committee?
Will the tires be behind,
Right now, I have them in the woods. As we were talking the other day when you guys were out by me, would be to build a fence and keep all that stuff behind a fence, obviously, so it's out of the view of any neighbors or the roadway, general public, along with any cars or anything that would be unlicensed or registered that are being worked on. And potentially, I'd like to build a lean-to off of the garage to keep the scrap and the tires in, so they're fully contained and out of sight that way.
Okay, I guess that's all the questions at this time. Correspondence?
Okay. County Zoning Office did
Take a
receive.
seat for a while if you'd like.
Thank you.
County Zoning Office did receive a call from Dan Nowak, the town chairman, on December 9th, 2020, who had indicated that the town is generally supportive of the request. However, he did point out that he has received calls from neighbors concerned about the storage and placement of vehicles and scrap parts, as well as the general unsightliness of the property. Dan, too, would like to see a condition regarding storage and screening of vehicles. County Zoning Office received an additional call from a concerned neighbor on December 16th, 2020, who also voiced their concern over the placement and storage of auto parts and scraps that have been placed in the woods immediately west of the proposed auto repair building. And that's all we have for correspondence.
People to speak in favor or against?
I have 4 registrants to all speak in favor. First is Kent Peterson.
my name's Ken Peterson. I have one of my farms is right next to theirs, 240 acre farm. And I've already utilized the service for some my tire repairs on farm wagons. And got a quote for tires for my van. And so it's a welcome thing to have him in our neighborhood. And I think he'll do a great job and be an asset to the community.
Thank you.
Next to speak in favor is Cody Koloski.
Gentlemen, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. I'm here to speak in favor of Craig. I've also utilized his services. He's done a great deal. Pardon me. A great deal for my family. He's helped out a lot with our vehicles, kept us running. Not to mention at a reasonable price, which is obviously really hard. So having him around and having him in our community has been a really, really big help and a big service.
Thank you. Next one.
Yep. Next to speak in favor is Thomas Skogstad.
Hello again. Yeah, I was out there when you guys showed up out there the other day. I'm Craig's father. And we had just moved down here from up north. So I've been kind of helping him out around there, trying to get stuff cleaned up a little bit more, which you guys were speculating your concern on and stuff. We're still working on some of it. And
I know some of my stuff is over there yet, which I explained to you guys the other day, which I'm still trying to get out of there with moving into our place and that. But, it just, the people right around me, I live in Cedar Springs Lake, and I've got people coming to me all the time asking about his work and stuff like that. So we got people from, over by Cedar Springs Lakes that's even happy to have him around. So they're real enthused about him being there and doing his work and stuff like that. So we're in hopes everything keeps going that way. And like we said, we're continuing on cleaning property up. And if we have to put fences up and that, I'm willing to help them with that or whatever we can do to get it taken care of.
Thank you.
And last, also to speak in favor is Bonita Skogstad.
I was just told I was supposed to sign a paper.
Oh.
I'm the mom, so I'm all in favor.
Okay.
Mom better be in favor.
Okay. Any signed up for against it?
That's all I have.
Okay. Anyone for information only?
Nope.
All right, staff comments.
Okay. Just a brief summary of staff's report. The applicants, Craig and Blessing Skogstad, are requesting a conditional use to establish a home-based business for an auto repair shop within an existing 33 by 56 accessory structure in an AG5 general agricultural 5-acre minimum zone in the town of Mount Morris. The county maintains very little information as the home and the sanitary system both predate county zoning. County did approve a land use permit in 2000 for a detached garage, and then an additional land use permit in 2009 for an 18 by 30 addition onto the existing pole barn. Committee visited the property at the recent onsite on Wednesday, December 16th, 2020, and was generally supportive of the conditional use request. Initially, the county felt that if it weren't for the sign placed at the front of the residence, they would not have known that an auto repair operation even existed at the present location. It was upon inspection of the property, however, that the committee observed the issues that were raised by the neighbors and the town chairman, and also felt that all scrap and auto parts should be effectively screened from view. Through proper screening, the committee believed that the Skoggies Auto Repair business could be an unobtrusive neighbor. Staff has reviewed this request and believes that small engine repair operations, if conducted properly, in accordance with county zoning, behind closed doors and concealed storage areas, can prove to be unobtrusive neighbors. As with any repair operation, is the concern over storage of scrap and/or automobile parts, as well as waiting and serviced vehicles. Parking and storage will need to be confined to either within a completely enclosed building or exterior storage area consisting of a solid fence and/or solid landscape plantings. While the committee will be making a recommendation on this request later in the evening, staff is recommending approval of the conditional use request as listed in the staff's report.
Did you have anything to add to your statements? Give you a few minutes to.
Yes, and actually, I forgot while I was up here earlier, I did prepare a little packet for you guys. I had a petition that went around.
Okay.
There's packets for each one of you guys there. I agree with you guys completely as far as property condition with the scrap and the way that stuff has been handled. However, that was it was a problem prior to me opening my business there. And since opening my business there, I have actually been cleaning it up a lot more, and I'm trying to make it more professional. So it's going to actually help uphold me to a higher standard with that. And putting up a fence and stuff and a lean-to, like we said, was a very good idea and something that I expect to have to do with that and do plan on doing. It's going to take me a little bit of time to be able to do it, as coming up with the funds and also being able to get it in with
Sure.
winter coming and stuff, but I have no opposition to that at all.
All right,
Thank you guys very much.
thank you.
Are you sure this isn't the Tony Evers recall? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There were just hundreds and hundreds of pages. I'm just kidding.
All right, thank you. The next application, actually the last one, will be Gary Shu. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Appleton, Wisconsin has made application for conditional use in accordance with sections 58 236, paragraph 17, and 58-454, paragraph 27 of the Waushara County zoning code to store a 2014 Keystone Sprinter 37-foot travel trailer in the AG5 General Ag Zone. Location, an approximate 14.5 acre parcel of land being part of the northwest quarter of the southwest quarter, section 26, town 19 north, range 9 east, town of Deerfield, Dover Lane. Is the applicant present? I don't see him.
Oh, nope.
So do we continue onward?
We can.
Can I
Without-
can't?
yep, We can.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, he has nothing. We can't ask him any questions. Any correspondence?
We did receive a telephone call from Tom Whaley, the town chairman, on December 1st, indicated that the town has reviewed this request and is generally supportive of the request as noted.
Okay. Nobody in favor to speak?
Yeah, I have no registrants to speak in favor, against, or informational.
Okay, staff comments.
Okay. Applicant Gary Shu is requesting a conditional use to store a 2014 Keystone 37-foot travel trailer in an AG5 general agricultural zone in the town of Deerfield. Committee visited the property at the recent onsite on Wednesday, December 16th, and was generally very supportive of their request. Given the fact the trailer is situated at the end of a very long dead-end private roadway and that the property maintained very thick vegetation, storage and occasional usage of the trailer at this location, it was believed that it should in no way impact surrounding land uses. The only concern the committee had was regarding the county sanitary code requirements. Staff has reviewed this request and finds a proposal and the location acceptable. While the committee will be making, it's one thing I just did want to mention too is that the applicant does propose on using a incinerator toilet. So that's something that, you know, we will review and that. So with that, while the committee will be making a formal recommendation on their request later in the evening, staff is recommending approval of the conditional use request to store a 2014 Keystone travel trailer in the AG5 zone in the town of Deerfield.
Okay, thank you. Nothing more from the applicant, obviously, he's not here.
That's a first.
All right, we'll move on to our agenda. Roll call show that members are present. Mike Cap has been excused. We did the public hearing applications. Roll call will show that. Motion to approve the agenda.